What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to F1 2015. Button bounces back, and it feels like a little bit of time since we've done one of these. It probably hasn't really been that long in actual fact. It's probably been like just under a week, but at one point I was doing them once every couple of days, so I apologise for the longer gap than usual. And after the disappointment of Monaco in the last round, if you've not seen that video, make sure to go and check that out, because there's absolute chaos at Monaco. We now arrive in Canada, one of my favourite tracks of the entire calendar. Absolutely love Canada, and it's an eventful race to say the least. But before we go any further in today's video, it would be absolutely amazing, I should say rather, if you would smash past 12 likes on this video, subscribe if you're not already, and also a special mention goes out to Viper Racing. He's another Formula 1 2015 or just general F1 and racing kind of YouTuber. He actually gave me a shout out in his last video, so massive thank you to you, Viper Racing. I will put a link to his channel, sorry, in the description down below. He's just, as it happens, doing Alonso's Way, his series is called, and that is similar to what I'm doing, but with Alonso, and I've got Button, so together it's like Team McLaren basically. It's pretty crazy, but you can see qualifying is happening in the background as you're watching this. We are in 5th place, coming down an absolutely massive straight, and although I do love this straight was always going to cripple us, but you are about to see something absolutely insane, because as we approach this last little chicane, we take it absolutely brilliantly, absolutely real Hamiltoning. Look at this, we're up to 3rd place, 2nd place. Can we take pole position for the Canadian Grand Prix? It is incredibly close. You may have seen it just flick over as we crossed the line. I wasn't sure if that meant we'd taken first or we were still in 2nd. Either way, I was very happy. Would we take pole position? We're about to find out. We do. Jenson Button, for the first time in this series, and I would suggest probably the last, is taking pole position on a track that doesn't even suit our car. It was just an absolutely blinding lap, 1:15.406. We actually ended up like a tenth of a second ahead of Hamilton. I actually thought it was going to be a little bit closer than that, because we seem to just take him on the line. But we are on pole for the Canadian Grand Prix, and this means we are in it with a chance of getting a podium, if not winning the race. But there is lots more to happen before we get to that stage. It's an absolutely crazy race once again. And as you can see, they're just saying now, basically, Jenson Button done amazing in qualifying, but he's going to have a hard job keeping his pole position leading to the first quarter, which you'll see happen in just a second. Here's the rundown of how everyone's lining up after qualifying. Alonso, I believe, was 15th, and you can see it's all the usual suspects, really. Hamilton, Vettel, Rosberg, all those guys. But as you can see, we're about to go into lights out for the Canadian Grand Prix. I mean, what can you do? Hamilton just burns past us. We get burnt past by most cars anyway at the start. Never mind Hamilton. We get a bit of a clip at the back there. We managed to ride it out. I don't think it was anything we did particularly wrong, but we still get a warning for a collision with Rosberg, unfortunately. And as you can see, Hamilton is just like gone. Instantly gone. We just haven't got the pace to match him. I mean, we did so well to get a pole position in qualifying, and part of me thought, you know, we might be able to hold him off, but realistically we didn't even last like one corner. He just burnt past us straight away. But this now turns into a very interesting race. You're going to watch the whole of the first lap now, and you can see we're having a bit of a duel with Vettel. Managed to just about hold him off coming around here. He did take us at the inside, but we took an outside line and he sort of backed out of it a little bit, and we ended up with a little bit of a gap. And we actually hold off Vettel and co reasonably well. I mean, we're always going to have the difficulty on this straight here because it's a DRS zone, and not only is it one DRS zone, you cross over that line there that we're just about to pass, and it's basically a double DRS detection zone. And what that means is you get DRS down this whole straight here, and then you go around the chicane, and then you get DRS again, so you can be behind someone, and as far as I'm aware, you can get DRS twice. And you can see, I do not know how we didn't get corner cutting there. We had one car on the right, one on the left in Vettel, and I didn't want to cause an incident, so I sort of tried to just steer clear of everyone. Somehow came out really well from it. But we're going to jump forward to lap 3 now. You can see Hamilton is just stormed into the lead. He's about 6 seconds clear at this point, and you can see there's a little bit of a snake curve forming behind us. I mean, this is what it was always like. We seemed to get a little bit of a lead, hold them off until we got to this straight, and then we were coming under attack as you'd expect. And again, we've got I think it's Nico Rosberg going on the right there. We do have a little bit of contact. I tried to take him around the outside, end up going over there, again, didn't get corner cutting. Oh, sorry, we did get corner cutting for that one, so I was going to say, I don't know how that one was corner cutting and the one before wasn't. That's pretty crazy, but it didn't seem like a super amount of contact in that with me and Rosberg, but it really like opened up a gap, and it really affected Rosberg. I don't know if he got a puncture from it or anything like that, but that pretty much killed his race. So yeah, like I say, it didn't seem like much of an incident at the time, but clearly it did have a bit of an impact on Rosberg's race, unfortunately for him. But we march on, and we're about to get some news. In a second, I've got really dry lips, pardon me having a bit of a lick of the lips there. We're about to get some news in a second that it's just going to throw the race into like absolute anything could happen. You can see they've just mentioned now, because I've got the subtitles on now, I realised they can put subtitles on, so they should be on the screen for you. I realised that the tyres are in good condition, we've just been told. So I was really happy with that, because as you can see, I'm on lap 4 now. We've got a little bit of a gap again. We come round this hairpin again. You can see that that gap from the Rosberg incident is still pretty nice. No one close enough to get in the DRS zone, and they seem to be having a little bit of a scrap together. But looking at the radar, we should see some light rain within 10 minutes time. That is not what you want to be seeing. We're going to jump forward to lap 8 now, which is the pitting in lap. You can absolutely fling it in and it just automatically slows you down. A little bit cheating, I suppose, there, but what you're going to do, I mean, you always just fling yourself in there, don't you, unless you've got it on the proper pit thing, which I haven't. We pull in, and we actually get a pretty nice stop here, it must be said. I mean, we have been done in the pits a couple of times, but I don't think they were close enough to really achieve that anyway, the Ferrari cars that were behind us. But we're doing so well at the moment that we actually enter the pits in second and come out of the pits in second, which is really rare. Normally you get a lot of people passing you if they're on different strategies, all that kind of stuff. But we do manage to hold on to our second place, managed to retain it, which was really nice. I was really happy about that, because I was like, you know what? Halfway through the race, second place, a podium finish, that would be absolutely superb for Jenson Button. I mean, I can't remember the last time Button was on a podium in real life. I mean, he got points last week in, I can't remember what the Grand Prix was. I think it was the Hungary Grand Prix in real life. That was really nice for him. But as you see, we skip forward to lap 12 now. The rain has started to come, and this is where it gets very, very, very interesting. You can see the lines I'm taking now are very different to the ones we were seeing. Just the tyres are starting to struggle. Vettel's managed to catch us up a little bit now. Well, I say a little bit, he is right on us, so he has really caught us up. He takes us on the inside line there. I had to yield. There was no way I'd be able to defend against him now, just because of the pace he's got. We try and make a move, but because of the conditions, we're not able to fling through there as quickly as before. And again, we get a warning for corner cutting there. And we need to be really careful on that front, actually. You can see we're able to get really close to him around there on lap 14 after being behind him for so long. I thought we'd taken him over. We didn't quite. He touches the brakes, so you can see the track is getting wetter and wetter and wetter. And that there is a pass that will define the rest of this race, because we're on lap 14, it's peeing it down with rain. It looks like we're down to 40% of our fuel there, like we've just said, so we have to switch it down to standard. And like, I cannot explain to you how much that pass defines this race. We get round him again here and manage to hold him off this time. But basically, at this point, everyone, I knew that we were going to have to pit. There was only 4 laps left. Tyre change was going to happen because the track was just so wet now, and it was no good for the tyres that were on. I think we're on primes at this point. Correct me if I'm wrong, it could be options. I'm pretty sure it's primes. I always got those two mixed up. But what I tried to do here is find out what Hamilton's doing in front of me, basically, so I could mimic him. So if he was going in for new tyres, I would. If he wasn't, I wouldn't. And I sort of thought, you know what, this could be dodgy. I'm not going to pit him just yet because no one else seems to have pitted. Hamilton didn't seem to have pitted, but then everyone pits, basically. So we have now got a lap on the prime tyres in this freaking piddling down with the rain, trying to keep the car on the track. I'm trying to get instructions to the pit wall as well, which isn't the easiest while you're driving on this, it must be said. But you can see the car is really, really struggling in these conditions. But like I said, what this basically means is we've got to go into the pits. I decided as well, we'd pit in this lap, because everyone else has pitted obviously, go onto the wet tyre because it was really raining, it was getting worse and worse and worse, and then just see where we came out. But the fact of the matter is, you can see we touched the wall there again, trying to sort out so we can get on all wets for the pit, but it's not easy to do while you're racing at the same time and trying to keep a good pace. What I decided to do was switch to wets, like I said, because the rain was coming down. And the fact of the matter is, like I was about to say then, we're going to lose so much time now because we've got to do a whole lap on these tyres, and everyone else is going to be on the correct tyres for the conditions. And as you can see, even the pit walls just coming through to us saying, you know, just stay focused because everyone's struggling in these conditions. You can see the car is twitching all over the place. We're fighting against it all the time. And with 3 laps left to go, I was fearing this podium that we had worked so hard for. I mean, look how wide we're going there. We're just going to be thrown out of the window by nature. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. We get our foot down here to go down the straight as we get ready to pit in again. You can see the car squirming under the conditions. Absolutely crazy. It's just typical. The one race where we qualify extremely well and we look like we got good pace, but nature has to throw a spanner in the works. It's just classic Jenson Button, isn't it, really? But fly ourselves into the pits here to change onto the wet tyre. Just 3 laps to go, 2 really, because we're about to cross the line for lap 16. And this is where, like I said, we passed Vettel. If I was behind Vettel before, I would have followed him into the pits, no doubt. We come in 2nd place, we lose 3rd, we lose 4th in a second, and we end up dropping all the way down to 5th place. And I was absolutely gutted, because I thought that we'd be able to, you know, get a podium in this race. And then, if this wasn't bad enough, the pit wall comes through to us and gives us an even bigger kick in the balls, because we've lost a little bit of power in the engine, which, you know, that's not the greatest, is it? I can't remember if that was on the last pit stop or this pit stop, actually. But here you go, look. People are setting good times on the intermediates. Why couldn't you have timed that like a lap earlier before I pitted in, you freaking knobs? So we're out on the tyre that isn't the quickest, but my decision to change to the wet, which I selected rather than the intermediates, would actually pay off in this absolute miracle you're about to see, because we're cruising around, we're in 5th place, I'm not looking like gaining anything, and then lo and behold, all the cars that went into the pits for the intermediate tyres have to pit again to change to wets for 1 lap. I don't know why they do that. I don't know if it was strategy. I'm assuming it's to change to the wet tyres, because it had got a lot worse, and it got a lot, you know, it kept on peeing it down. So my decision to change to the wets instead of the intermediates looked like it was going to be a terrible one. Complete 360, I should say complete 180, comes around to be an absolutely amazing, inspired decision, because we managed to pass everyone in the pits and take the checkered flag for 2nd place, and Jenson Button will pick up his first podium of the season, of the F1 calendar, and what a result that is. You can see him on the podium there, and a question for anyone with some good F1 knowledge out there. Hamilton came first with Button in 2nd. When was the last time there was a British 1-2 on an F1 race podium? I haven't got a clue, but I suspect it will have been a long time ago. But that is just why people love F1 like myself in a nutshell. It looked like we'd thrown it away, the rain came along, threw the spanner in the works, we looked like we made the incorrect decision, and it turned out to be the decision that would win us the race, that would get us back on the podium in the race, I should say, sorry. Absolutely crazy scenes there. Hamilton takes the race by a long stretch with 30 seconds behind him. Even with all the chaos that was going on, he still seemed to cruise to victory. We're in 2nd, Vettel 3rd. Like I say, Nico Rosberg nowhere to be seen. That incident with me and him really seemed to throw him into the doldrums, really. Alonso, I believe I saw there, was in 16th. We do remain in 8th place on the championship, but we gain a lot of places on Daniel Ricciardo in 7th and pull a long way away from Grosjean, who's 9th behind us. So that was an absolutely fantastic result for us. By far the best result we've had so far this season. And next race, we'll be going down into Austria, which is a bit of a track that I don't know too well at all, so we'll hopefully be able to carry some of the momentum from this race into that one. I hope you enjoyed the video. I look forward to speaking to you all next time. Nidge out.
Keen wide open, gets away from his defender Hurtado, chip in the keeper, Kennedy!